This is MacVoices TV. The Take Control ebook series are media sponsors of MacVoices TV. Visit them at takecontrolbooks.com. Welcome back to MacVoices TV at Macworld Conference and Expo. I'm Chuck Joyner in San Francisco, and we're in the VMware booth talking with our buddy Joe Kissell of Tidbits and Take Control. Joe, it's great to have you finally on MacVoices TV.
Thank you. It's nice to be here. We have interacted virtually so many times, and I don't think we actually met in person before this week. So.
And you look different than your little 90 by 90 pixel.
Yes. Well, I'm probably 10% grayer than. Especially after this week.
You took it right out of my mouth. Yeah. You've pretty much spent the week here in the VMware Fusion booth.
Yeah, well, every day I have had a session here where I've been talking about VMware Fusion and also my book, Take Control of VMware Fusion 2. And I've done the same presentation every day in the Smith Micro booth, so that's 8 presentations. And then I had 3 other sessions that I did, so it's been a very busy week for me, and my voice is actually getting ready to cut out here, so...
By this time on Friday, I think everyone's voice is cutting out.
Yeah, well, of course, they schedule all these great parties, and they're exciting parties and they're interesting, but the volume is so, the music and the noise is so loud that you have to yell to be heard. And so after, a few consecutive hours of yelling every day, it does take its toll.
Yeah, after talking all day, then you go out and yell all night. It makes perfect sense.
Yeah. I personally have been kind of blowing off a lot of the parties to sleep, which I don't know, maybe it shows my age. I have today reached the advanced age of 42, so...
That's right, today's your birthday. Happy birthday.
Thank you very much.
You don't look a day over 55.
Well, thank you.
Joe, with all those presentations on VMware Fusion, any surprises from your perspective from the audience about the interest in running Windows on a Macintosh?
No, there seem to have been 2 types of people, and I sort of expected this would be the case when I was preparing the presentation. There are a few people, definitely the minority, who are switchers. And they're like, well, but, I like the Mac, but I'm just used to Windows, and I just want something that'll give me that same experience that I'm used to. And so Fusion can totally do that. But there are lots and lots of people who are, like me, they don't actually like Windows or want to run Windows. I don't care if I ever see the rolling green hills or the start menu, but they're just Windows applications that I want to use. I mean, if I'm making a website, I want to see how it looks in Internet Explorer on Windows. And if I want to be able to download videos from Amazon Unbox or from Blockbuster that won't run on a Mac unless I'm streaming them. So for things like that, for games, for business applications, it's really great to be able to have ways of running those applications without having to even see or think about Windows. So Fusion is one way to do that. I would like to say I love running Windows this way. The fact is I don't love running Windows at all, but I love the fact that I can get at those applications without having any barriers or limitations.
So it sounds like it's more a convenience thing from what you see this week, as opposed to I want to stay with Windows.
Yeah, there have been a few people who have given me the sense that they actually are more interested in running Windows, but they want to run on a Mac. But by far, most people seem to just, they want the Mac experience, but they just want to be able to get at certain apps.
That's great. I know that you haven't had a lot of time to do anything on the show floor, but anything that jumped out at you that was interesting?
Well, there actually are quite a few new products this year that, there have been some years I've been at Macworld and it's like, well, nothing's really new except for iPod cases or whatever. This year, actually, there were some cool things. There's the LiveScribe Pulse Pen, which, it will record visually what you write, but also record the audio. And I had a demo, and I will be trying out the pen. It's one of those things that looks really cool, and the commercials are really neat, and the demo is really interesting. Until I actually try it, I'm not going to know if it's practical for me. So I was having the demo of this thing, and and she was showing me, oh, write the word one, and then tap on it and tap this button, and it'll translate it into Spanish. The pen will say uno. I'm like, tell me you have that in French, because I'm going to be taking more French lessons when I get back to Paris. And she's like, actually, we only have it in Spanish right now, but we have an API, and you can develop your own French translation application, so I'll look into that.
There you go, Joe. You didn't have anything else to do.
That's right. Yes. In all my spare time, when I'm not writing books and articles and fighting with French bureaucracy, I'll just write a little Java app there to do some French translation.
Right after you get finished learning the language.
That's right. There also, there's a new version of Crash Plan out. It's really cool. It has some new features. There's a free version now, so that's great. I'm always looking at the backup stuff. So I looked at a hard drive. Sorry, the developer escapes my memory right now, but there's an external hard drive that's encrypted and has a little fingerprint reader built in, so you can decrypt with your fingerprints. So that's quite nice. A lot of interesting storage devices. I really like. I came here to Macworld intending to buy at least one and perhaps several new keyboards, because I'm kind of wearing out my Apple Bluetooth keyboard, and it's one of the old style Bluetooth keyboards. And Matthias introduced one that folds in half. It's compact. It has a really nice feel. It feels like a laptop keyboard. It's Bluetooth. Has the proper Mac layout. So I bought one of those, and lots of cool things here.
So the plane will go a little slower back to Paris with all the stuff you bought.
Yes, I thought I left myself enough room in my suitcase, but I have a lot of loot, so hopefully they'll let me on the plane with it.
Good deal. It's not a bad thing.
No, a lot of cool stuff that I get to go home and play with, but it's going to be quite a lug from the airport.
Well, Joe, it's a pleasure to meet you in person. Thanks for taking the time, and happy birthday.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure as always.
I'm Chuck Joyner. This is MacVoices TV on the show floor at Macworld Conference and Expo. As we tape this, we're almost done, but not yet. We'll be back. Thanks for watching. The Take Control ebook series are media sponsors of MacVoices TV. Visit them at takecontrolbooks.com. MacVoices TV is part of the MacVoices Group and a member of Mac Level 10.